Hi there, I'm Andre from Peak Motorcycles and I'm here at EICMA 2025 and I'm here at the Ultraviolet stand. Now I've covered Ultraviolet for the last few years and I've had bikes like this, sort of racing concept behind me, but this time they have over there an adventure bike, so I'm interested to see what they have today. So they're an Indian company who make electric motorcycles. There's been a few electric motorcycle manufacturers that have come and gone over the last year or two, but they're still here showing what they've got. I've never ridden one, but I'm sure at some point they'll come to the UK and I'll get to try one out. Right, so first up I'll show you their sort of racing concept. Now if you've seen my content on Ultraviolet for previous years, this bike will not be unfamiliar because it has been featured. I think I was there when it was first unveiled. It's got lots of high-tech spec components on it, sort of little aero wings at the back, lots of aircraft DNA apparently in the bike. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Unlikely to make it into a production bike, but it's great to see that companies are doing these sorts of things. At very much the other end of the spectrum, they have their Tesseract bike. Not sure whether there's any science fiction copyright infringement there, but let's assume there isn't. Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks quite mean. Those indicators at the front look kind of cool. It's got a built-in camera, and yeah, it's an e-scooter. And again, I think that EVs work quite well in scooters just because of the type of riding that's done with them. This one appears to have a helicopter gunship on it and a nice clear dash at that. Here we have the Ultraviolet Super Street, which is the naked version of their street bike. Again, this has been covered in previous years. Nice to see it again in yellow. Let's give you a quick look up and over the bars and you can have a look at the dash. Apparently tyre pressure is critically low, which was that beep that you just heard. Hopefully, to give you some context around this is 40 horsepower with 100 Newton meters of torque at the rear wheel. So it'll do about 90 miles an hour, 231 kilometre range, which is at about 150, 160 miles. Again, I have shown this before, but they have this unfaired version of their bike on the stand, which has been at the previous shows, but just, you can really get to see what's inside it. The bit that looks like a fuel tank is essentially housing the controller and a lot of air, and then underneath you just have this massive battery pack in there together with the motor just positioned there behind it. So yeah, it's trying to keep all the weight low down as far forward as possible, and the rest of it is really just electronics. The bike I'd like to show you from the Ultraviolet stand is the Shockwave, and this actually looks kind of cool. Yeah, it's 14.5 horsepower, which I guess makes it learner legal for the UK. It's got about 100-mile range, 505 Newton meters of torque at the rear wheel. Sounds like an awful lot. But who am I to judge? 120 kilometers an hour top speed, which is about 70 miles an hour. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. There's not a lot to show you really up here. It's got those domino grips. It's got hydraulic brakes front and back. A controller for that small screen about the size of a smartphone. Come down the side and show it's got that single disc at the front on a conventional fork, not an upside down. And then that sort of looks a bit like a rally tower with those two spot lamps mounted within that frame. I'm guessing that is also still a concept. The battery pack on it is certainly a lot smaller than on some of the other bikes. It doesn't look finished, ready for the road, but then I don't think we've had any of these bikes available in the UK yet. Here we have their X47. It says many roads, one crossover. So I think this is what they actually had on show last year as a concept. This one looks much closer to being a finished bike. So 610 Newton meters of torque at the rear wheel. Can that be right? Maybe that should be 110. Anyway, 610 sounds like an awful lot. Maybe if you're towing a train. So my battery did just die, so I'll just give you one last look around this X47, complete with all its luggage. Yeah, this is now post-production. I think they're going to be selling them in India and hopefully coming to the UK maybe next year. What I would say is that it's great to see these bikes and the evolution year on year. I don't think they're doing anything quickly, which is probably not a bad thing given the importance of getting these things right. I'm sure the final cost of moving to mass production and getting them out there is significant. And with the other manufacturers that have come and gone in this sector, yeah, it's maybe a bit of caution is wise. The fact they're starting with the Indian market before rolling it out more widely makes sense as well. They are an Indian company. So yeah, I think that's it. Looking around their stand here. I did check with them on that 610 Newton meter torque value, and they said, yeah, that is correct. It's also 505 for the trail bike. but that is at the rear wheel. I think the motors turn out something like 100, 110 Newton meters. So there you have it. That is my look around the Ultraviolet stand at EICMA 2025. It's been kind of nice to see these guys come every year with something new. They had the concept in the first year, the adventure bike last year, and now with this trail bike this year. Still not available in the UK, but they have started selling in India, and I've been told that maybe the UK is not too far away. Yeah, hope that's been interesting and useful. Nice to see some e-bike manufacturers are still innovating, still coming up with new things. So I hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content from EICMA, and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.